Mr. Chairman, Professor Jacob Opodei, Deputy Campus Principal, Professor Rhoda Reddock, Deputy Deans, I said Professor Ian Sami, but I'm sure that's only a matter of time. Dr. Ian Sami, Deputy Dean, Professor Hariharan Sitaraman, Directors of Schools, Dr. Sureshwar Pandey, Dr. Philip Onua. Heads of departments, I see, and I want to recognize Professor Vijay Naransingh, Professor Gerald Hutchinson. Academic colleagues, and I'm really pleased to see so many of you. Welcome, both from my faculty and from the faculties in the main campus. I think the university is a wonderful place that we can attract persons to come out on an evening after a long Easter weekend on a rainy day to hear about death. Colleagues from the profession, and there are many of you, some within this institution, some from other institutions, both public and private, many anesthesiologists, indeed, you are welcome. Our administrative, technical, and support staff, both from the Dean's Office and from the Department of Clinical Surgical Sciences, from the Unit of Anesthetics, administrative staff of the Open Campus Committee. Thank you for arranging this event. Our special honored guests. And I want to recognize Mrs. Pillai, who's come all the way from the United States to hear this lecture. Welcome. Mrs. Pillai is the wife of a former director of the school, Professor Pillai. Our honored lecturer, Professor Hariharan Sitaraman, his dear wife, Dr. Jagati Gora, and family. All other special guests, members of the media, welcome. Harry's story reminds me of another more famous one, because he followed a star. And he arrived in the West Indies, in Barbados to be exact, in 1999, with his wife bearing child. And subsequently, the story fell apart because she had a girl. However, it is noteworthy that Hari left India not because he couldn't make it there. He had an exceptional academic performance in his homeland. He was a winner of a National Merit Scholarship from the Government of India. He graduated with the MBBS first-class honors, and with a distinction, being the first in his university at postgraduate MD exams. In Barbados, he was a senior registrar at the Queen Elizabeth Hospital in Bridgetown from 1999 to 2004. Although he was not in an academic post, he was busy about the business of research. He crafted and published 12 peer-reviewed journal articles in just 5 years there. And ladies and gentlemen, I think it is to the credit of the Campus Appointments Committee at St. Augustine that when a job was advertised for the post of lecturer in anesthetics in Trinidad, his academic potential was immediately recognized, much to the benefit of St. Augustine, but to the loss of cave hill. Further, I was able to convince Hari that his role here would be not only to continue his research, but to encourage his colleagues within the department to move along with him. And here the story actually follows another pattern, because he said, "Come with me, I will make you good researchers." This he did with exceptional brilliance and aplomb, such that he published another 15 articles with his newly acquired fellow academics in St. Augustine within a very short period of time. In fact, colleagues, as an academic and a professional colleague, Hari is one of the stellar performers and someone who has exerted possibly the most influence on the progress of his colleagues in this faculty that I have had the privilege to witness. He currently can boast of over 90 publications in peer-reviewed journals, together with a chapter in a book published by Cambridge University Press in 2011, and he's also the co-author of another book. Hari is a member of the editorial board of the World Journal of Anesthesiology and is a peer reviewer for 17 international journals. He has mentored more than 60 students, and this has enabled their first peer-reviewed publication with him. In 2009, as you heard, he was awarded the prestigious honorary fellowship in critical care medicine of the American College of Critical Care Medicine for outstanding contributions to that field. Not satisfied with that, he is currently pursuing a PhD in health economics under the supervision of Professor Carl Theodore, a thesis on cost effectiveness and analysis of primary versus tertiary care in Trinidad and Tobago. Colleagues and ladies and gentlemen, you can see how very easy Hari made the work of his international assessors of his work when they advised the University Appointment Committee in October 2010 that he was deserving of elevation to the starry heights of professor. I was personally privileged and delighted to have presented his case to that committee. As an administrator, Hari has had many important contributions, including as head of department and director of the operating theaters at the EWMSC. He has acted as the head of department in the academic department of clinical surgical sciences, and he is the erstwhile deputy dean of graduate studies and research. And as you can recognize from his own performance, that I could not think of anyone who could be more suitably qualified than him to be a deputy dean for graduate studies and research. As a support to my office and to the faculty, his performance has been exemplary. He is a member of many professional societies, and I commend him as a member of the Bioethics Society of the Caribbean. Hari is committed to service. He is committed to excellence in research. He is committed to the ethical values and professionalism. He is committed to supporting his department, his faculty, and his university. He is committed to a positive projection of the UWI to the national community, and he's committed to his family values. His wife, Dr. Jagati Gora, is a general surgeon at the Eric Williams Medical Sciences Complex, and she, as you can well imagine, has sacrificed much of her personal progress to witness the awesome accomplishments of her life partner and of their children, who are doing exceptionally well, as you may well imagine. She has been in love with Hari for so many years. When I see them, she's always smiling. I think she fell in love with him all over again in Barbados, and she had a second child. Daughter Dwiti, son Nishwal, welcome. Hari is an honorary member of the Bluebirds Sports and Cultural Association of Pinal in Trinidad. He is well versed in music. He's adept with a variety of musical instruments. Some of them we know, the tabla, the dolak, a very ancient string instrument of South India, the veena, harmonium, keyboard, and the pan. And I, again, feel very honored that he is willing to have made the pan one of his instruments of choice. And I think Harry will recall that I procured that pan for him from one of my colleagues. So, ladies and gentlemen, I don't think I need say much more about the accomplishments of this very, very brilliant researcher, colleague, friend. And it is with great pleasure that I present him to you on this particular day and to be able to say so much about him. Hari is going to deliver his lecture, but before he does that, he wants to show you that what I said about his musical ability was not false. As you heard from the chairman, whatever we say here has to be true. So Hari is going to play something on the pan, which is a fusion of South Indian music with the West Indian flavor. Professor Hariharan, do your thing.